Everyone, my name is Taylor Parsons, and today I'm going to be teaching you how to play a game called Cee-Lo. Cee-Lo is a game that was brought to the United States by Chinese immigrants, and it remains a popular game today. I learned about Cee-Lo first when I was on the Vans Warped Tour in 2012. I would always see a group of guys huddled in a circle, throwing some dye around and screaming obnoxiously, and I wanted to know what it was, so I questioned it and found a new fun game that I really like to play. So Cee-Lo is a great way to just pass the time or have fun with your friends. You can raise the stakes and make it more interesting if you want, but I'm going to give you some basic rules for it. The thing that I really like about Cee-Lo is that it doesn't actually require any skills. It's basically all on your luck. So if you're not having a lucky day, I wouldn't suggest playing it. But I'm going to walk you through the materials, the rules, and how to play. So let's move on to the materials. All you're going to need are 3 6-sided dice. You can see just your normal dice that you would play with. You're going to have 3 of them. And you're going to have a group of people. I suggest somewhere between 3 and 5. 3 keeps it interesting. 5, if you go over that, it could get a little bit chaotic. So on with the rules, you can have 5 possible outcomes. You could have an automatic win, an automatic lose, a set point, a triple, or a reroll. So let's start with the automatic win. This happens when a player rolls a 4, 5, 6 on their single roll. This is your automatic win because the only way anything else can even come close to comparing with that is if they also roll a 4, 5, 6. And an automatic lose happens if you roll a 1, 2, 3 on a single roll. The only way that you can come back from this is if someone else also rolls a 1, 2, 3. If any of those things happen, then you're going to be taken into a shootout round, which I will talk about in a minute. The third possible outcome is a set point, and that happens when you roll 2 of the same number and then a third number. So say you roll a 3, and a 5. The 5 in that case is going to be your score. So it would be the same if you rolled 2 2s and a 5. Your number would still be the 5. The fourth thing that could happen is you could roll a triple. Higher triples, like a 5, 5, 5, would be a lower triple of a 3, 3, 3. Even triple sixes will not be the automatic win of a 4, 5, 6. The last thing that could happen would be a re-roll. This is probably most commonly what happens because you roll a group of singles, so a 2, a 5, and a 4, for example. You have to re-roll until you get one of the aforementioned outcomes. And on to how the game works. One person is going to start, and they're going to roll until they get one of the 5 outcomes: the automatic win, the automatic lose, the set point, the triple, or the re-roll. Typically, it takes a few times to get one of these outcomes, so don't get discouraged. Sometimes it takes a while, but it's really fun once you get it. And then once that person has gotten a score, they keep that in mind, and the person to their left is going to roll. Their goal is to get a higher score than what the person before them rolled. Once that person rolls, he also will have the score, and if the second person rolls a higher number than the first player's out. The only way the first player can remain in the game is if the third player were to roll a 1, 2, 3 of the automatic lose. If a player rolls a 4, 5, 6, the only way the round continues is if another player would also roll a 4, 5, 6. If the 2 players roll the same score and the third player gets a lower score, for example, player 1 and player 2 both roll 5, but player 3 only rolls a 2, player 3 is out, and then player 1 and player 2 go into the shootout round that I was talking about earlier. The shootout round is going to occur when the 2 players with tie scores will be re-rolling to get a new score. Everything is zeroed out. You're basically starting again. It's just going to be you and the person with the tied score rolling to see who ends up with the higher number. So that's about the materials, the rules, and how the game works. Again, Cee-Lo is one of those games that you can play with pretty much anyone. You can play it with younger kids. You can play it with your friends. You can even play it with your coworkers if you wanted to while you guys are bored. We just used it to pass time while we were traveling from state to state. It was a lot of fun. And it doesn't take any talent. It's not like basketball. You don't actually have to be good at it. So it's a fun game to learn, and I hope that this helped you. Thank you for listening.